It is a story that sounds like it came from a horror movie, but for one person in the United States, it became a terrifying reality. Health officials have confirmed the first human case of the flesh-eating screwworm in the country. This person had recently traveled from a country where a major outbreak is happening. The news sent a shiver through the medical community. While this case was linked to travel, it brings a dangerous threat much closer to home. We are now facing a parasite that many hoped would never return. It is a stark reminder that diseases do not respect borders, and a problem far away can quickly become a problem right here. This is the first time a human has been diagnosed with this condition, known as New World Screwworm myiasis, inside the United States from this current outbreak. The patient was treated by doctors, and they are now doing well. State health experts quickly put safety measures in place to make sure it did not spread, but this single case serves as a loud and clear warning. What exactly is this parasite that has caused so much alarm? The New World Screwworm is not a worm at all. It is the larval stage of a fly, Cochleomia hominivirax, which means man-eater in Latin. This name is frighteningly accurate. Unlike other flies that lay eggs in dead or decaying tissue, the female screwworm fly seeks out living hosts. She is drawn to any open wound on a warm-blooded animal, a small cut, a tick bite, or even the navel of a newborn calf. She lays hundreds of eggs in the wound. Within just hours, these eggs hatch, and the tiny larvae, screwworms, begin to eat the living tissue of their host. They have rings on their bodies that look like the threads of a screw, which helps them burrow deep into flesh. As they burrow, they feed on living tissue, causing wounds to grow larger and more foul-smelling. That smell attracts more female screwworms. They lay eggs and the cycle repeats, producing thousands of larvae in days. A single small wound can become a massive infestation, painful and sometimes fatal if untreated. Treatment requires manually removing every larva and thoroughly disinfecting the wound. While usually survivable when treated early, it is a painful and onerous process. The danger is not limited to livestock. Any warm-blooded animal, including pets and humans, can be targeted. The recent human case in the United States did not happen in a vacuum. It is a direct result of a much larger crisis unfolding to our south. For the past 2 years, a massive outbreak of screwworm has been spreading across Central America. Leaving a trail of sick and dying animals in its wake, it has traveled an incredible 1,400 miles, crossing borders and overwhelming control efforts. This relentless march has now brought the screwworm into southern Mexico, a major milestone that puts the United States on high alert. The most northern sightings are about 700 miles south of the U.S. border. The fly can travel many miles on its own, and even further when carried by infested animals moved from place to place. The speed of its spread has surprised many experts. Natural barriers and traditional control efforts are being overcome. This northward movement represents a serious threat to the entire continent, putting agriculture and wildlife at risk. People who work with farm animals and those in rural communities are especially vulnerable. The volume of animals and goods crossing borders makes inspection a monumental challenge. The threat of the screwworm is a serious one, and it is important to know who is most in danger. For humans, the risk is highest for people who are in close contact with livestock. Farmers, ranchers, veterinarians, who often have small cuts or scratches from their work. People living in rural areas with lots of animals are more vulnerable. Anyone who sleeps outdoors, campers or people without shelter, can be at risk if they have untreated wounds. The larvae do not discriminate. Any warm-blooded host will do. This includes our pets, dogs, cats, and wild animals like deer. When a person becomes infected, the results can be devastating. Myiasis is painful and frightening. The larvae tunnel through living flesh, creating deep, painful wounds. If eggs are laid near the eyes, nose, or ears, larvae can cause blindness, deafness, or even enter the brain, which can be fatal. Most human cases are treatable if caught early, but treatment is difficult and traumatic. For U.S. agriculture, the stakes are enormous. Faced with this growing threat, the U.S. government is not standing still. It has launched a powerful and aggressive plan to fight the screwworm and keep it from crossing our border. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke L. Rollins announced a comprehensive 5-part strategy. A key part of the plan involves a clever, proven scientific technique. The government is building facilities to mass breed male screwworm flies. These flies are sterilized using radiation so they cannot father offspring. They become unable to reproduce but still seek out wild females to mate. Released in huge numbers, sterile males overwhelm wild males and break the parasite's life cycle. The plan is to release sterile males from airplanes over southern Texas and northern Mexico to create a protective barrier. That break causes the screwworm population to crash over time. The government is also increasing inspections at border crossings and training veterinarians and ranchers to spot and report cases fast. Public awareness campaigns are underway to teach people how to prevent and report infections. Every part of the plan builds a strong wall of defense. With science and vigilance, we can win this fight again. For now, the risk to the average person in the US remains very low, but this first case is a wake-up call. We cannot be complacent. The government's swift response is encouraging, but this will be a long fight. It will require sustained, cooperative effort across agencies, ranchers, veterinarians, and communities. Check wounds promptly, report suspected cases, and follow public health guidance. Protecting agriculture and wildlife will require vigilance across landscapes. Community health workers and vets are being trained to respond quickly when cases appear. Ranchers are learning to inspect animals and report suspicious wounds immediately. Use simple prevention. Cover wounds, treat cuts quickly, and maintain farm biosecurity. If you transport animals, comply with inspections and report concerns. History shows the sterile insect technique can work. With commitment, science, and public cooperation, we can stop this pest. Stay informed, protect your animals, and report anything suspicious to local health or agricultural authorities.